there.
I'm sorry, I get it. You have a lot of responsibility and you want to live in a joint family. You made that really clear. And I think that's an issue that's not going to go away.
Live in their house, maybe somewhere else, but in the city where you can get your privacy. So we can live nearby anywhere. And I told you, like, if you want your freedom, that's not a big concern. We can change that thing. But the thing is,
no, we don't approve. They said, no, we don't approve.
yeah.
You know, Rishi loves to waffle. This man loves to waffle. I mean, honestly, I just don't understand. He's had a conversation with the family. The conversation in the family went down very simple. She's old and she cannot give you children, so therefore we do not want her. Flat out, no. He's now gone to meet Jen. Jen has brought up that, well, from the family meeting, I'm happy that they accepted me because obviously that's what they said in front of her face, but she was unsure whether the family was ever going to allow him to move out of the house. So therefore, when they get married, they can live together. So Jen's thinking that's the conversation that we're having today. She's come into it with that conversation in mind. Rishi now, full on, gets involved, he gets invested in that conversation, goes, no, it'll be okay. You know, when we get married, you can have a house here, we can have one close to the city, whatever, and we can still go home and be with the family because Jen doesn't want to feel like she's in a prison. And then after having this kerfuffle of a freaking conversation that wasn't even needed, he's then like, but yeah, so basically the family asked about your age and they have said no. I mean, honestly, like when you're looking at Jen's face at this moment in time, I can't even blame her for looking so flabbergasted, to be honest with you, because at the end of the day, she thought that the green light was there, that her herself wouldn't be the problem. The next obstacle was just to conquer the living arrangement. Meanwhile, this man is convincing her that he will sort that out to then tell her, oh, by the way, guess what? The family said, no, they don't want you because you're too old for me and you can't give me children. Well, no, it's not even because you're too old, it's because you just can't give me children. That is the main pinnacle of it all. What is wrong with this guy? What is actually wrong with this guy? But you know what, though? That isn't even the pinnacle. Let's get into it.
From the beginning, it was like only one thing that like bothering me.
From the beginning? Honestly, you should have thought about that before you proposed.
The problem is that Rishi doesn't think. He doesn't think about anything that is going to hurt somebody else. Rishi only wants to think about what he wants. For some bizarre reason, he wanted a woman that he knew that he could never actually have on a marriageable basis. But he was still so invested enough in her, he would still propose, still prolong the inevitable. But here's the thing though, I'm not going to sit here and just laugh at Rishi and blame Rishi and all that kind of stuff for his salesman approach and all that kind of madness. I am not going to neglect the fact that, Jen, you allowed this man to prolong this for as long as possible. If a man is not going to tell his parents about you after years, if a man is going to propose to you without his family even knowing who you are, that is a red flag. I don't care what religion he's from, what culture he's from. I don't care what type of background he has in any kind of way. If a man is not going to tell his family about you before he proposes to you, he is not serious. The same thing if a woman was to do the same thing. She is then not serious. So to be honest with you, Miss Master's degree, whilst you're looking like this, you put all this stress on yourself, and that is just the bottom line. But you know what though, like I said before, this ain't even the pinnacle. Let's get into it.
Who he's allowed to marry, what he's allowed to do, where he's allowed to live before he got engaged. Maybe he should have done his homework.
I mean, in reality, Jen, this isn't a case of where he should have done his homework. In reality, you should have done your homework on what it's like to be married to an Indian man and what possible complications or hurdles you may come across. So in reality, if you had done your research that having children is a big thing for most Indian men, especially if they're heavily traditional and they're into the religion and all that shebang, really and truly, you should educate yourself in this one. But let's remove education out of the picture. I have never known two people to meet and not have a conversation about children. How do you meet someone, plan to be with someone, and you're telling me that when you had the conversation about marriage, you never had the conversation about children? Either way, though, the conversation about children is usually way much more mandatory than the question of marriage, if you dig what I'm saying. So to be honest with you, the fact that they didn't even have this conversation is quite interesting to me, to be honest with you. But anyway, while she talks about how he should have done his research in his own culture or whatever the hell she's talking about, nah, you should have done research yourself. But like I said before, I have never come across a female in my life, a woman in my life that has never ever asked the question, so hey, do you want kids? Every woman that's ever been in my life has always asked that question, without a shadow of a doubt. And to be honest with you, I've always brought it up myself. But you know, Rishi and Jen just living in a whole different dimension. Yes, but we continue.
I don't have words.
Okay, well, I have words. Stop wasting my time. That's the words.
Man is looking like, wait, what? Nah. This is not what you're supposed to do. I've been selling you a life for a long time. Nah. What's going on here?
I'm done.
It's
Here.
it's not like
Look, I don't.
Like, bro, let her go, man. Like, the relationship is over. She's done now. Like, done and dusted. Like, what's wrong with this guy holding her arms and ting? Like, like, he knows that the family has said no. He knows that he cannot marry her. He also knows that even if he did marry her, that he'd have to move out of his home, something that his family do not want to happen. He has every reason to walk away as much as she does, but for some reason, he's giving this defiant thing. Like, what's wrong with you? This guy needs help.
I don't want to be in a relationship where the person doesn't stand up for me.
it doesn't mean that I can't stand up for you.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it actually really does.
The fact is, we talked about this last time I was here, and you said, oh, I'll always choose you over them. They said no, but what does that mean to you? Are you, like, willing to say...
Well, clearly he's not, because at the end of the day, if he had any intention of choosing you over the family, well, you two wouldn't be having this conversation right here, right now. But to be fair with you, I'm going to give credit to Jen for finally standing up for herself, for finally being like, you know what? I'm actually now going to hold you accountable to your actual words, and I'm actually done. I mean, it's taken her, 4 years, however long it's been. Like, god damn. She could have met someone, be married to someone else by now, you know what I mean? Happily ever after. But anyway, some people, I guess it takes them a long time to realize the truth.
I don't care if you approve or not. I love her. We're going to get married. Now's the time to just be honest. What did you tell them?
We all know Rishi does not know what honesty means. Does Rishi know what honesty means? Hell no!
I didn't tell them anything. I was just listening because for me, I think my point of view is not a big deal for them.
You know, how do you say a whole lot of nothing without telling me you're saying a whole lot of nothing? How do you deflect without telling me that you're deflecting? How do you tell me that you're not going to stand up for me and you're going to stand up for your family without telling me these things? How do you answer a question without answering a question? How do you waffle without getting caught out? This guy just waffles. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, what are you actually talking about here? Like, the fact that he said that, well, for me, I don't actually have a voice in my own family is evident to why you're not going to leave her. Like, because if you was, you'd have left out. You're not going to leave. You're not going to choose your family over Jen. Do you see what I'm saying? The whole thing is just bloody bizarre, mate. Bloody bizarre, mate. You know what I mean? But let's continue.
I told to Jen that I would go against my family and I'll choose over my family, just to convince her that I'm trying to give effort.
So how do you confirm that you're lying without confirming that you're lying?
But I think this situation will never come.
The level of delusion coming out of this guy's mouth is actually surreal. Like, bro.
Really hard to say, but I can't go against my family, and I'll choose my family.
You know, I don't know what kind of scheme, scam, mumble jumble this guy's been pulling this whole time, but it is actually quite tragic to watch. To see that this guy for 4 years or however long it's been has been lying to Jen about choosing her over the family when he knew fully he was never going to do that. But the fact is, Jen should have known this, because at the end of the day, if it took him 4 years to tell his family, which I quote, he didn't even tell his family about Jen. It had to be Jen's friends who actually ended up telling the family about Jen anyway, but it took him that long. Someone that's going to pick you over their family will tell their family instantly. They will tell their family before they even propose to you. You see, the moment that they know they want to be with you, they're going to propose to you, they will say to the family, hey, this is my woman, I'm going to propose to her, or hey, this woman, I proposed to her yesterday, you know what I mean, and this is who I'm going to be with. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't, I'm out. You know what I mean? So to be honest, if the fact that she even believed that lie, given the fact that his action didn't even match up to the lie, is just berserk. Jen, you need to look yourself in the mirror like real quick and recognize that you put yourself in this situation, and at the end of the day, Rishi may be the villain in the story, but you are no freaking saint, because at the end of the day, it's been written in front of you. Everyone's been telling you anyway. But hey, it's okay though. Why? Because Jen has got master's degree. I think she got 2, right? Man, if you ask me, she got none. But anyway, we continue.
It's not gonna work out. I really would like you to leave.
I don't know why they're putting in the sound effects in the background of making it like it's a sad thing, like dun, dun, dun. Today is such a miserable day for Rishi. Dun, dun. This is so sad to watch. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I don't know who's watching this and it's actually sad. Because I know I'm not. I'm watching thinking it's a bad goddamn time. Why are you playing that music for? You should be playing a celebration, if you ask me, man. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know, something that just says it's a bad goddamn time. If TLC really want to up their editing skills, they should up the editing skills so it actually tells the viewers that, hey, man, we knew all along that this relationship was shambolic. So let's put on a beat in the background that kind of says it's about goddamn time. Not one that says, oh, we're so sad. We actually thought this was actually going to work. In what universe? Not in the one that I live in, I can tell you that for sure. But either way though, it has now come to the end of the road for Rishi and Jen. Now, it does make sense though why she's been running wild on social media though and throwing his family under the bus, because clearly the relationship is obviously over. If I hate that these two are back together, I will not be a happy bunny. I'm not a bunny, but I don't know where that came out of my mouth. Anyway, you guys let me know exactly what you're thinking down below in the comment section, and we'll most certainly talk about it. Please don't forget to like, sub, and of course, peace.